get thirsty. Hey guys, I'm Mr. Lazyboy, and today I'm going to be giving you my review slash breakdown of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I just saw this last night. As of the time of me recording this, you're not getting this till Wednesday, August 2nd. So the movie starts off in like this really crazy cool like military-esque scene where you have the agents of TCRI along with Cynthia Utrom on a computer screen telling them to capture Baxter Stockman because they found out that he's been creating mutants and that to take any of his research or anything he's made back to TCRI so they can use it for whatever they're going to do. And this is when we see Baxter Stockman, who is of course played by Giancarlo Esposito, who does a great performance in the short time that he is as Baxter Stockman. It's really well done. Who has now perfected the ooze. He's already made his first mutant, which is Superfly. He's a little baby fly. He's like the size of about a backpack, like a little backpack, like this, like, oh, little baby. And then we hear a little bit of Baxter Stockman's backstory about how he wasn't very appreciated or accepted by society because he was kind of a loser, a nerd. It's kind of sad, you know, like he wasn't that really accepted, which is what led to him creating all these other mutants. And we see that even though Superfly is already a baby, he already does have vials prepared for all the other mutants, like Scumbug, Leatherhead, Bebop, Rocksteady, Mondo Gecko, Riffle. You see all those little vials, he has them all there. But then the TCRI agents bust down the doors and they arrest him. Superfly, he's already like hiding all around the area, and like he's actually taking out agents. Like one guy, I think he scars his face up, and the military has these like anti-mutant weapons, and they're trying to fire them at Superfly, trying to capture them because it's kind of a problem for them. And they accidentally hit a gas tank, which blows up everything and kills Baxter Stockman. Baxter Stockman actually dies. Like you see his body there lifeless. Of course, he's turned around, you don't see his face, but like you see his body just laying down there. But like it's still pretty like jarring for like a kids movie, you know? And it's like, I mean, I'm a little conflicted on it because I love seeing like because like it's like a children's movie, but at the same time I love like TMNT, like he's always like pushing like what you can do here like with children, and Daisy, stop chewing your foot. Like TMNT is always pushing what's appropriate to show children all the time ever since it's been owned under Nickelodeon. And not even under Nickelodeon, it's been even before that with the 2003 series where they sliced off Shredder's head, or in that one episode where Baxter Stockman is literally just decaying before your very eyes. It's so graphic, I love it. And then, or 2012, finally, when Shredder gets decapitated on public television. That's hilarious. Or Rise of the TMNT when Karai gets stabbed through the chest. Traumatized me. And even now with seeing Baxter Stockman lifeless on the ground, that's pretty tragic. And during the explosion, almost all of his research is burnt up. There's like a few scraps of paper that we see later on in the movie that Cynthia Utrom has. It's little, there's little scraps of paper left of whatever he had there, whatever didn't catch on fire. And also I forgot to mention is that when we first see him, he had perfected the ooze. He had a vial of the ooze that was perfected. And during the explosion, he ended up getting tossed down the drain, which is what ended up creating the turtles. Flash forwarding us 15 years ago. And then we get that scene that's been all over the marketing where it's like the turtles, they go out of the sewers and they go, we have a very important mission for tonight. And it's a very fun scene. I like it. We've pretty much seen it, how it is in that clip, so I'm not going to go too much into that. But then it cuts to them going grocery shopping. It's a neat little fun scene. It kind of explains how the turtles get all their supplies. Because they never really explain that in TMNT series. You always just assume they have money or something, even though that makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah, they break into like little grocery stores here and there, and they like put like little papers on the security cameras. It's so funny, and then they just sneakily take stuff, like even Raph, like he stabs 2 loaves of bread and just slowly takes them back up, and he goes back up into the ceiling. It's hilarious. And that montage goes on for a little while, and the turtles just hang out. And then eventually they make their way home after running their errands, but then they stop because they hear that there's a movie playing in some park that's nearby their home, and they see it's like they get sad because they wonder like that's what like if that's what really high school is like. But of course they wouldn't know because they're not accepted, and that's really sad. Like that actually tugged my heartstrings a little bit in the theater. Like I felt so bad seeing them like look so like longfully at the people there. So then we get that scene where the turtles sneak in and see Splinter. He's freaking out, which is that turns into a long lecture about how the turtles need to stay hidden underground, and that's where we get the origin of the turtles that we also saw in that featurette. Except of course here it's extended. It's a really touching scene. I love it. So basically, Splinter was just a normal sewer rat. So basically, Splinter was just a normal dumpster rat, eating stuff that he could find, whatever he could scavenge, which also features some really funny jokes about how like he was like basically like bottom of the food chain. The rats didn't like him, raccoons didn't like him. He had a cockroach friend named Kevin that got squished. Hilarious stuff. Love it. Then which leads us into him going down the sewer, finding that gross hot dog next to the 4 little baby turtles covered in ooze made by Baxter Stockman that was dumped down the drain. and of course, and he takes a quite liking to them because they're the first creatures that didn't try to attack or eat him, and he loves them. He takes care of them, and then while bringing them in, he touches the ooze on their bodies, which mutates him into Splinter. It looks very scary when you see it, but then it just cuts to him looking like a normal rat. We get cute little scenes of him raising his boys. It's so nice and heartfelt. You see him cleaning them. You see him dancing with them. It's so cute. You see them trying pizza for the first time, and then we get a scene where a young Splinter takes the baby turtles to the surface. And this scene, I saw like little sneak peeks of it here and there in little like TV spots and stuff, and I just knew this scene would absolutely destroy me, and it did. It did. And then so we see Splinter going up to the surface with his boys. He has them all in his arms, keeping them safe, and everything's going really well. He's just walking around looking at all the nice lights, and it's all going fairly well until he bumps into this one lady who sees just how kind of ugly the turtles and Splinter are. Well, they're not ugly, but like to them they're ugly, obviously. And Splinter makes this hilarious face. I'll try to see if I can find the picture online. It's super funny, and it is not helping their case at all. And then some people think, oh, it's just a costume, and that's where we get the Mr. Beast cameo, where just a random guy in Times Square, he pulls on Splinter's ears, just like it's just a fake head. Nope, it's real. I just touched it. That was real. And if you look at his shirt, you can see the Mr. Beast logo, and I think that's really cool. And so everyone's freaking out about him and the little turtles, and he actually ends up stumbling over something, I forget, and he actually drops the turtles, and he's trying to pick them all up, but Mikey ends up on the road about to be hit by a car because of all these people that won't get out of his way. And he takes them, and he almost gets hit by a car himself, but thankfully it stopped just in time, and he's able to get away. We cut to him trying to find a way to protect his boys, and that's by learning the secrets of ninjutsu, which it's not 100% clear how he learned it. They just show a montage of stuff. You meant to assume he learned it through the internet or through like old movies and stuff, but it's not specifically clear. I feel like he is lying about his origin, like that it's actually the traditional origin where he was just Hamato Yoshi's pet rat, but then he died, so he went off on his own, being a sewer rat, dumpster rat, whatever you call it. And that's what I think actually happened. He's just lying that, probably saving it for a potential sequel. Who knows? We get the training montage of him and the turtles training as babies. It's super cute seeing them try to imitate his moves and him teaching them. It's adorable. And then we finally get to the flash forward of them as teens. Then we go back to Splinter's lecture about that's why he's so overprotective of them, because he's worried about them. He doesn't want them to be milked for their blood, which is a really funny running joke, because he keeps saying that the humans are going to milk them for their blood. That's a recurring joke in this movie. It keeps coming up like 3 or 4 more times. But because of how worried they're making him, he actually grounds them for 1 month because of that. So the turtles stay underground for a month, and after that scene, we get to like this weird robbery sequence where like these guys are stealing a machine part for Superfly, and they get it, and they're able to make it away, except a police officer spots them, so they're trying to get away, and they're about to be caught. Superfly grabs the car and just flies off with it. And this is actually on the news, like, it's on the news, like, because there's crime sprees everywhere because of all these people, like, getting stuff for Superfly. And this catches Cynthia Utram's attention, in which she tells her guards to start putting tracking devices on their equipment, so that way in case Superfly ever comes back to get a piece, they'll find them. Then we come back to where Superfly took the car, and it's like this abandoned ship down by Staten Island, and he like puts it down. The workers look around, they see a bunch of like silhouettes, which are the mutants. You see Bebop's shades, Leatherhead's goggles glowing in the darkness. It's a really cool effect. And then the doors are busted off, and then the guy sees Superfly for the first time. They see that he's an actual mutant fly, and then that's where you get they're like, oh my god, is that actually? And he's like, Superfly, in that Ice Cube voice. I love it. And he kills them. He straight up kills them. Like, you don't see him kill them, obviously, but like you see you hear their screams while the car shakes. It's actually kind of terrifying. And then that's where we get that little scene of the turtles slicing fruit from the first teaser trailer. It's a nice scene. I like it a lot. So yeah, the turtles are cutting fruit. It's all fun until Raph goes to throw that ninja star. It goes through the watermelon, and it ends up hitting April's bicycle helmet very close to her forehead. Like, it is like right here. And honestly, I was kind of upset about that. And then April looks up. You see that nice moment from the trailer. She takes out the ninja star and takes off her helmet, and Leo instantly falls in love. It's hilarious. You got this like cheesy, like almost like freeze frame or slow motion while it's all going pink in the background. It is so cute. Almost like the 2012 scene where Donnie sees April for the first time, just not as weird. And then while April's yelling at the turtles, she can't really see them too well, but she knows they're up there. She like yells at them for hitting her in the head with a ninja star and how like stupid it is and how stupid they are. But while she's yelling at the turtles, her moped, bike, whatever it is, it gets stolen by a guy. And then the turtles, they go on to get it for her because Leo's all hormonal, I guess, and wants to impress April somehow, even though he doesn't know her. teenage boys. You know how it is. You know how it is. And they go there to the place where April's bike got stolen, where the guy took April's bike that got stolen, and they go in there, see the guys. They're a little scared because it's their first time seeing people in like person, like hanging out with them. Also, not to mention because the fact that they're bad guys stealing stuff, and like the humans there, they don't think they're actual mutant turtles. Like they just see like, oh, what the hell? They're just guys in costumes or Times Square mascots. They don't know they're actually turtles. So then this is like the part where, okay, I'm about to admit something embarrassing here. This movie's absolutely hilarious, but this scene got me hard, man. Like, so basically, it's that one scene where Raph talks about how much he loves to fight and he's been waiting for this, and he goes into charge. But when he goes into charge, he slips, and his side goes flying. It goes bouncing all over everything, which eventually ends up stabbing Donnie in the leg. And I just thought that was the funniest thing in the world. I laughed super hard and loud at that scene. I was the loudest one in the theater laughing at that part because of just how funny I thought that was. But then the fight ensues, and the turtles are kind of not that competent. They're kind of fumbling around the fight, but they're doing fairly decent. It's better than the turtles. It's better than the turtles' first fight in 2012, where Rise of the TMNT. Rise of the TMNT was abysmal. And this is where we actually get a brief appearance of the ninja rap from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. While Mikey's fighting a guy in a car, the radio goes off, and it's like, go ninja, go ninja, go. And the fight continues on. They finally get everyone. Everyone's all flattened out, dead, maybe not really. It's a kid's movie. And that's where you get that scene of April meeting the turtles for the first time. It's very awkward but fun. And then she takes them to the laird, which it's really weird that it said it's the laird and not just the lair. It doesn't make any sense. What the hell is the laird? Is it like a pizza place, apartment? I don't know what it is. They get pizza on the rooftop. They explain their origin to April, and they have a little talk, and then April basically just says, yo, people will just straight up not accept you. But maybe they can? It's a little contradictory, but like she's like, wait, maybe they can. And she's basically like, if I just saw you guys randomly, I would have freaked out, but because you guys saved my bike, I saw you guys as heroes. That kind of kicks off almost start of what the Turtles' main goal is for this movie. Turtles head home after their nice chat with April, just super hyper and excited because someone actually accepted them. A human actually accepted them. They want to keep it going. So that's when they get the idea to stop Superfly because April talked to them about all these crime sprees going on. And that's when they get the idea to stop Superfly, and then everyone will think they're heroes, and then they'll be accepted by them. So then the turtles call April back. There's a really funny scene where they call April and she asks them questions and stuff like if they have ears. They assume they do, but turtles don't actually have ears. They feel the vibrations and that's how they hear, but they don't have ears. And Leo has to ruin it at the end by saying it's a date. All his brothers try to stop Leo from ruining it even further, and they just hang up eventually. That's when we get that cool action sequence of the turtles like fighting all these different mob bosses because they're looking for a guy who knows where to find Superfly. And it's a really well done like piece of action. There isn't a lot of action in this movie, but when it's done very well. I like it in this scene. It's done really nice. You got all these cutting back and forth to all these different mob bosses that they're fighting to find out where Superfly is. And then we find a guy who looks like Rat King. I say that only because in the concept art, if you look at the Rat King section, or the little rat part that says Rat King, it is the guy from the concept art. But I think it's Bernie in this movie, I think. And then so he tells him, we got a part for Superfly, and we're going to give him tonight under the Brooklyn Bridge. So that's where the turtles go and get ready to stop Superfly. But before they can go stop Superfly, Splinter texts them to come home right away. Because during that fight scene, they've been collecting little stuff like human stuff like hoodies, shoes, and Splinter actually found all that because they've been doing kind of a bad job sneaking around him because of how long they've been going out. He tries to make like the human experience for them. It's a really sweet moment. He makes them like a restaurant thing, and he says they can have whatever they want as long as it's pizza. It's such a funny line and super adorable. I loved it, and it broke my heart that the turtles couldn't really appreciate it that much because they're trying to get accepted, so they had to go and leave him behind. It was so sad. I felt so bad. That actually kind of like it was a little bit of a tearjerker moment for me. Like I felt so bad for Splinter in that moment. And this is where the turtles obviously meet the mutants for the first time. Now the entire time April's been recording all of this to try and get people to see like how good they've been when she officially when they officially stop Superfly. So like she publishes the story and see like, hey, these guys are good the whole time. They've been trying to stop Superfly. So April records the whole thing, and she even records the interaction when Superfly meets the turtles. So Superfly busts down the windows, the turtles, and you get that cool clip that we saw where Superfly meets the turtles. It's very fun. And then we get that cool interaction with Mikey and Mondo Gecko. It's so much fun. I love Mondo Gecko in this movie. He's done really well by Paul Rudd. I love that performance, and I love the personality. It's just so dumb, honestly, but it's like in a fun way. I love it. It's like that surfer dude you see at the beach who's kind of stupid, but like he's a chill guy. I'd hang with him. Superfly actually takes them to hang out at like this bar bowling alley. It's like a Dave and Buster's kind of thing almost. And you can see the turtles bonding with the mutants. You can see Raph bonding with Bebop and Rocksteady. You could see Donnie playing video games with Wingnut and Leatherhead, and Mikey and Mondo just goofing off at this little air machine, like blowing into it. It's so funny. So the turtles sit down with Superfly and his crew. They're eating food with Superfly, and he explains his plan, how he's gonna make a machine to turn all the animals on Earth into mutants, and he's going to kill or enslave any remaining humans from it. A lot of them are gonna be eaten, tortured. They're gonna have like shows, like pet, like dog shows for like redheads and stuff like that. It is a very messed up scene. He even like smashes a bottle of ketchup and it goes all over the turtles, representing blood. It's kind of gross. And the turtles are like trying to like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And then because they're so scared of Superfly, they come up with this genius idea to like just drive off with the part that he needs for the machine. So he can't finish his machine because that's the last part he needed. But Superfly sends out Mondo Gecko, Rocksteady, and Wingnut to drive for them because Superfly drives very fast. So they're on the road, they're listening to music, and they play that song.
Wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high.
In the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high. They're playing that song and they're all singing along to it, and that's when they get the idea to press on the brakes really quick with Donnie's bow staff so they can shoot the mutants out of the car and drive off with the piece so Superfly doesn't finish his machine. And that's when we get a really, really fun chase sequence with the turtles and the mutants. It's so much fun. And I saw this movie with D-Box seats. And for those of you who don't know, they're seats that move, like they shake with the camera, and it's really cool. Like, so like if the car gets hit, your seat moves that way. It's really fun. If you have a very queasy stomach, do not sit in these seats because like I don't throw up that easily. But after this scene, my stomach was actually kind of hurting a little bit. And so the chase scene goes on. Turtles actually are fairly competent enough, like all the mutants kind of like stop. And then Superfly comes in, he's all sticks in the morning, police at my door. I don't know what that's a reference to. I'll have to look that up. I don't really care enough to look it up right now, but I don't know where I'm going with this. And so the turtles try to fight him. Raph tries to charge at him. Superfly just knocks him out. Leo grabs his sword, tries to swing it at him, but it gets caught in the roof of the van because they're still inside the van trying to fight him. And then Mikey tries to swing his chucks at him. Superfly actually snaps Mikey's nunchuck in half. And then he takes Donnie's bow staff and slams it on the gas pedal, gets it stuck in the roof of the car. So the car is just stuck speeding by, and then he just tries to fly off at the part. So all the turtles make a chain, try and grab him. He says, I'm Superfly. Yeah, he says, I'm Superfly, and drops them. But the thing is that the tracking device that Cynthia Utrom said to put on the devices is on there. They ended up grabbing it and crashing off the little, I guess the highway, fall off, and that's when the members of TCRI all come in like SWAT-like style and like surround the turtles, and they're all on the ground. They have their anti-mutant guns pointed at them. And then Leo actually gets knocked out. Like they hit him with like the back of the gun. It looked painful. Like it looked super hard. But before that happens, they actually look up to Ace to try and get her help. But she just drives away and they're like, she abandoned us. That sucks. And then that's when Leo gets knocked out. And then they wake up in TCRI where Cynthia Utrom explains that she's going to milk them. Actually, she's actually going to milk them for their blood to try and make weaponized mutants. Like Eagle Men, Whale Men, probably something else. They only just listed those two. And so the turtles are basically stuck there. They can't get out. They're stuck, like their arms and legs are strapped in, and they're stuck. They can't escape. They also get shocked if they talk to Cynthia Utrom. She has a button on the remote that she presses to shock the turtles whenever they talk. It's really, really sad. Like I felt super bad. Like these are children and they're getting shocked by this awful woman that we're definitely gonna see again in a future movie. Can't wait to find out what she's up to. We cut back to the lair where Splinter's just like sitting there while looking at all the stuff he's prepared for his sons, having his sad boy hours, until April actually comes in and tells Splinter that his boys are in trouble. And at first Splinter's like, what the hell? Why is this lady here? Get out of here. Bye. Rawr. He actually does that almost word for word. I'm not even kidding. He tells them that his sons are in trouble, so then they go off to help them. And then we get this really funny scene where they talk about the regrets, and Donnie wishes he could have seen BTS in real life. And then Leo and his brothers, they actually start trying to sing the song. They actually start trying to sing a song for him, but they don't know the words. And Raph and Mikey start crying, and it's really sad. And while all this is happening, they're actually getting milk. They get a fair amount of mutagen from them. They took some from Mikey first, and then Raph. But then the power goes out, and that's when Splinter comes in. He's all like old man, Splinter. So like you see him like he's like out of breath and like oh my god my back in between the fight with the TCRI agents, and then during the fight, this closet thing falls on him, and all the turtles are like ooh no. But it's revealed that like inside that closet thing is the turtle's weapons, and that's when he goes all out on the people. It's super cool, and he rescues his boys. They have a nice little hug moment. It reveals, hey, I went to go get your father. I didn't just abandon you guys. What the hell kind of friend is that? We have our usual the protagonist split up before the climax moment, where Splinter sends April home and tells the boys that, hey, we're gonna go stop Superfly, but after that, we're done. You're never leaving the sewers again. So April splits up from the Turtles. The Turtles and Splinter go to stop Superfly, and they make it to the Staten Island ship where Superfly is being held up, only to find that they were waiting for them. But then the Turtles actually talk down the mutants and realize, hey, you don't have to be accepted by everyone. We accept you. You can come live with us. We can be cool mutant brothers or mutant cousins and stuff. It's really fun. And they all actually agree to that. They don't want to kill everyone because that's really, really messed up. But Superfly doesn't. He actually still wants to continue on with the plan. And that's when everyone starts fighting Superfly. Leatherhead, Bebop, Rocksteady, Mondo Gecko, Ray Fillet, Scumbug, Splinter, the Turtles. And they actually managed to destroy the machine with Superfly. They push Superfly and the machine into the ocean, but that actually just makes things worse. It ends up creating Mega Mutant, or Super Duperfly, as he calls himself, which is like this whale, bug, octopus, giraffe, elephant, horse, monkey thing. Which he doesn't start off like that. He's only like a whale with a fly, but he walks into the New York Zoo and he gets all these other animals on him, which makes him that whale, fly, octopus, giraffe, elephant, horse, monkey guy. It's a really cool design. It looks like a pain in the butt to animate. You can even hear some of the animals still moving on his body. It is very gruesome and grotesque and ugly and gross, and I love it. And then everyone's like, okay, we tried to help things. We just made it worse. Might as well just go back underground and hope things fix themselves. And hope that the military, like in the Godzilla movies, will just come in and fix everything. They don't. And then that's when Master Splinter comes in and tells them, hey, no, you guys gotta do this. You guys need to be heroes and protect the people of New York City and help them. Even though Splinter doesn't like humans, he actually does want to keep April safe because she is human. So they gotta stop Superfly. So they head on over to New York. There's this really nice sequence where where everyone's swimming, where Genghis Frog is bouncing, Ray Fillet's taking, I think Mondo Gecko's riding on Ray Fillet's back, Leatherhead's swimming, and then Wingnut is taking both Bebop and Rocksteady. That looks heavy. Meanwhile, Scumbug, she takes the four turtles and Splinter to New York. And now the turtles find one of the TCRI agents' anti-mutant guns, and they actually shoot it at his leg. But all it does is just make one of the horses on his leg come off, and that's it. Like, I only need that one horse. And they chucks a semi-truck filled with, I assume, gasoline at them, and that's what makes that big explosion. And in the movie, it's actually a very big deal. Like, everyone, like, Mikey can't hear, he's looking for his brothers, April, Dad, and Mikey actually finds Mondo Gecko. He sees his tail under a bunch of rubble, he pulls it out, and it's just disconnected from his body. And then Mondo Gecko, you see Mondo Gecko in the background. It's okay, it grows back, and then he grows it back. And then so everyone comes back together, and then they just hope that Superfly runs out of cars. But no, Superfly just keeps checking cars. And meanwhile, all this, April actually goes to the news station to get people to stop, to inform people what's going on. And for this part, even though this is more like a spoiler video, I'm gonna try and keep the end battle mostly a secret, just so you guys can just in case you haven't seen the movie, you can go see it for yourself because it's a really well done scene. But essentially what happens is April goes to the news station to tell people, hey, these mutants are the good guy. The only bad one is that giant mega mutant over there. The turtles and the other mutants are actually good guys. They're here to save them. And there's a really well done scene where Splinter's leg actually ends up getting broken, and the people of New York help him, and all the other mutants, they work together to get the anti-ooze thing, the anti-ooze vial, into Superfly's blowhole. It's a really well done scene. You guys need to see it in theaters for that. But they do manage to get the vial inside the blowhole and demutate Superfly. So now he's just a normal fly again. But the turtles have been accepted, and everything's all cool and dandy. And there's a really funny scene where Splinter and Scumbug, apparently they're similar ages, and so they just full on make out. Like you can hear even the vomit noise that Scumbug makes. It's hilarious and so gross. I love it. Definitely one of my favorite jokes in the movie. Top 10 jokes in the movie. And then we cut forward a few months, and then it's the turtles' first day of school. Like Splinter packs them their lunch and everything. You see that all the mutants have moved into the lair. Bebop, Rocksteady, Superfly, Bebop, Rocksteady, Mono Gecko, Rayfilet, Genghis Frog, Wingnut. You can see her finding the complete Akira collection, I think she said. And so the turtles, they go out, they leave the sewer for the first time, and they actually leave their bandanas behind at school, and you get this nice little montage of the turtles. They're having a good time with April at school, and it's very nice. And that's where the credits start rolling. But after a little while, there's a mid-credit scene where you can actually see the turtles are still at high school, and they're just goofing off, having fun. They all found their little friend groups where Donnie's with these nerds just on their phones all the time. Raph is in this wrestling club, and also Mikey's just in the improv tryouts thing. He's having a really fun time there. It's a nice little, very bad jokes, but it's fun. Leo is like just hanging out with April in this little story thing, trying to find out where TCRI went, because after they stopped them, they just disappeared. And then we cut to prom, where the turtles are actually at prom. Leo and April went together, but she's like, "This is just us friends, right?" And he's like, "What?" And it's just really funny. But then you actually see that this is all filmed from a security camera, and you go back to Cynthia Utrom, who is still out and about, and she has Superfly. She has the little fly in a jar, along with a guy, and she basically goes on about how it's gonna be very easy to find the turtles. It's just that capturing them is gonna be very hard because she still wants their blood. And then that's when we get the cool reveal. She says, "Bring me," and then we cut to far away from the New York City, and we see this little silhouette, and then she says, "The Shredder." Coolest thing ever. When I tell you I was in shock, I was shook. Like, I had no idea. This was crazy. Really unbelievable. I couldn't believe they were gonna do Shredder this early on in the franchise, or in this new this new universe for Turtles. Like, I can't believe we're probably gonna see Shredder next movie, which should be out in about maybe like 2-3 years. I'm excited for that. And that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I kind of didn't really stick around for the rest of the credits because I didn't think there was anything else. Maybe there was, and I just missed out on it completely. Who knows? But that was my breakdown of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This movie was absolutely fantastic. The pacing was really well done, better than how I explained it. Because like, if you actually seen the movie, it's really well done. Overall, I gotta give this maybe like a 9.9. Like, just that one little 1% is just slightly off, just because, you know, I don't really care. It's a nitpick. I shouldn't even. It's straight up 10 out of 10. My rating for this movie is just a straight up 10 out of 10. Very fun movie, very heartfelt. It's not like an action movie, but that's what I was expecting out of this, an action movie. But it's actually a very heartfelt, like, origin story. Like, it's like a very homey feeling kind of story. And oh my god, this video is gonna be super long. But that's just what it is. I absolutely love this movie. I cannot emphasize that enough. This was truly the movie ever. I still don't know if I like it. I probably do like it more than the Rise of the TMNT movie. But at the same time, it's for different reasons. Like, they're two very different movies. One's trying to be this grand spectacle conclusion to a series, and the other's just starting off on a small scale story of these four brothers just trying to be accepted by people. That being said, it's really late. I got school in the morning. I gotta get this done and edited for tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching. I gotta go to bed and edit this. In honor of this coming out on the day Mutant Mayhem releases, you are getting the next 3 amateur hours as Raph, Mikey, and Donnie. I'm going to be getting you guys 1 amateur hour for the next 3 days after this video comes out. You're getting all 4 turtles, and then onwards we'll be getting 2 amateur hours a week. I'm finally getting a fixed schedule. 2 videos a week, maybe even 3 I can manage, and maybe even a Rice. And so you'll be getting 2 amateur hours, along with potentially a Rise Sunday every Sunday for the foreseeable however many toys were in the Rise toy line, along with 1 other random video potentially. So essentially like 3 videos a week for a short while until I run out of Mutant Mayhem and Rise toys, and then eventually we'll probably move on just to 2 videos a week. And if I run out of stuff to talk about, just 1 video a week. But I'm probably not going to run out of stuff to talk about because Wave 2 should be coming maybe sometime in October, so I'll get back to that. Rise Sunday, you're going to be getting 1 figure Sunday. And then after that, after I run out of Rise figures, we're going to be moving on to another series called Total Turtle Takeover Friday, which is where you're going to be seeing me review my 2012 figures. I have a bunch there, so I probably won't run out of videos for a while, but if I do, I'll move on to 2003, 2012, along with something else, because I'm sure something else is going to come out, Ninja Turtles, by then, hopefully, because it's only like 1 video per week at that point. But I'm also going to be doing a lot more stuff like Transformers. I just got the Studio Series 102, Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime. You'll be getting that. I don't know when you'll be getting that, but you'll be getting that. I'm gonna be doing Transformers reviews on here too. Also, maybe even some Spider-Man stuff. Who knows? Also, maybe potentially Mario stuff because I have some Mario stuff in my room. But we'll just see what happens. I'm really excited to see where this channel could go, and I keep always rambling on and on, even though I've already done my intro. But that's just how it is. I like to talk, and hopefully you guys like to hear me talk. This video is like almost 50 minutes long. It's probably gonna be like 30, maybe 40 minutes when I upload it. Hopefully it's 30, 40 minutes. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, so more people can see this video, because I talk a lot, and I like talking a lot, and I like talking to people like you guys. But anyways, without further ado, let's head on out, because I am sleepy. Peace out.